are you?
I'm fine. It's
Good.
sort of a sad way to come into the program, though. I get sad. when
She
I
got
get it.
teary-eyed from
You
that
really do.
scene.
Yeah.
Let's get right up. You want to get right up to the mic, Jane.
Okay.
That arguably one of the finest scenes of your career, would you say?
I don't
Certainly
know.
one of the most poignant.
I don't know. It certainly had a lot of resonance for me.
I,
It was the last
I never,
movie my dad made, and I made it with him, and that was a kind of very, personal scene.
That's interesting because we've had you on a few times, and I know we've played that scene, and I didn't realize that still was a difficult scene for you to listen to or watch.
Maybe I didn't hear it before. My hearing's getting
possible.
better.
Your hearing's
My
getting
hearing
better.
is
That must be.
improving.
That happens as one gets older.
Yes,
Hearing
it is,
gets
yeah.
better.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question, and because specifically we are not going to get into your personal life because that's not our business.
Right.
But you've been in the public eye for your whole life. Is it still tough, like living in your hometown of Atlanta here, and you open up the paper and read like gossipy kind of personal items about you and your personal relationships?
I've been
every day.
in that situation my whole life. I don't know.
Do you ever get over that, Jane?
Do I get over what?
And does
other
it
words,
not
do you-
faze
like
you?
I would, if
No.
I had to open up the paper and
No.
read things about me and my relationship or who was seen where with whom, it would drive me out of my
Well,
mind.
and stuff
You
that's
get
not
inured
correct.
to
And
it.
stuff that's just very cheesy and gossipy. And it is. It's very cheesy
You
when
know
they put that in
something?
the paper.
When you've been around as long as I have, and you've been living with this stuff for as long as I have, you know that it's like powder in the wind. Puff it, it's gone tomorrow. Nobody cares.
But
That's
do you
a
ever
great
read
attitude.
something maybe, and sometimes maybe they get something right, and you go, how in the hell did they know that? And you wonder...
They never get things that right.
Never?
Never.
No, it's never happened.
I guess it's like one thing, we talk about celebrities on our show, and, we'll talk about, Cindy Crawford or, this person or that person. And we know that chances are Madonna is not listening to our show. So if we're talking about Madonna having another baby out of wedlock, probably it's, and are harsh on her, it's probably not going to get back to her.
Uh-huh.
But, I get when I read stuff in the paper, and I think, she lives in this town. Can there not be... It's not like it's news. It is not news if you're seen out to dinner somewhere, or Ted is seen out to dinner somewhere, or you
Listen,
and Ted.
there's so
That's not
much-
news.
There's so many perks that come with being a celebrity that the least you can do is tolerate the misinformation. The funniest one
Yeah.
was about 3 years ago. I'm 62, right? So 3 years ago, I was 59. I was working out in the gym at the CNN Center, and could have been 99X, in fact. There was a radio show that was saying that I was in South Africa getting shots so that I could have a baby.
I don't think
Wow.
we
I don't recall that
I don't remember
story.
that
Wouldn't go that
story.
far.
I can't say I remember that
You don't-
story.
okay.
No. But did the shots go well?
I grew a beard.
You,
Hey, what is it?
It was not.
I didn't
Speaking
want to
of,
say anything. I mean, I
yeah,
know this, but
you figure.
Speaking of working out, you always look fabulous. Are you still doing some of the old workout stuff, or what's your workout regime now?
Yoga.
Yeah, that's supposed to be
Yoga and
excellent.
walking and hiking. In fact, I decided that now that I have more time, that I'm going to think of all the things that I want to do the most in the world and then turn them into fundraisers.
Well, let me ask you a question, and this has never come up, but it actually comes up, and you've been on our show 3 or 4 times, and you're one of our favorite guests.
Thank you.
But each time you're on, I go back to my office, and I get emails from people who still are angry at Jane Fonda for, certainly the time is, it's timely right now, for things that happened 25 years ago. What do you say to those people who today still have a problem with Jane Fonda?
I feel badly for them because it indicates that they haven't learned. Well, first of all, it comes from a misunderstanding about why I did what I did, and I don't. I am very, very, very sorry that I gave the impression during the war when I went to North Vietnam that I was anti-Vietnam soldier, and it was my own fault. I understand why that happened, but it was not my intention. On the contrary, I was one of the people that tried to help create understanding that it wasn't the soldiers that were fighting that were the problem. The war was the guys that, McNamara, Kissinger, the people who sent them there. And I don't apologize for my stance against the war. I apologize for mistakes that I made that made it look like I was against the soldier. And whenever I'm given an opportunity to talk to them about it, I do. And it's usually a very healing process. And I feel badly that those people who still have that kind of, and some of them aren't even Vietnam veterans, who have those feelings, it means they haven't healed. And healing forgiveness is important.
I mean, I'm glad that you're addressing it because, I've never wanted to really bring it up, but it does always come up after you leave. And I thought, you know what? We have been seeing all this stuff, 25th anniversary, and we saw the John McCain stuff, and I thought, let's get this out of the way and address this so we can move forward.
And one of the things that I was interested in seeing during the 25th anniversary is the extent to which lessons have been learned about, that it was not a war we should have been in. We shouldn't have gone there. And, all the way up to West Point and how the war is being taught there. And it's just sad that there's still these angers and wounds festering in people because it's you gotta heal, you gotta forgive and find ways to do it. I am so moved by the number of letters that I get from veterans, Vietnam veterans, saying they're probably in a program. It sounds like the kind of thing that goes on when you're in a 12-step program. I've been angry at you for so long, and I want to apologize, and I want to tell you I forgive. And that means that they're on the road to healing, and that's real important.
Ever met John McCain?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to some other things.
What items have you ever bought at an auction?
I bought 3 years of a Volvo station wagon last year.
Why not just buy it, Jane?
Because I may end up buying it at the end of the 3 years. It's a great car.
Anything though that you collect? Any kind of memorabilia? Have you ever bought anything at an auction? Like at a Sotheby's or?
I bought a painting that my father made.
Wow.
Yeah, he was an avid
painter.
Possessions,
yes. He used to always paint paintings for my auctions.
Oh, that's nice.
For me, yeah.
Do you collect any Hollywood memorabilia at all?
No.
Anything from any of your movies that you still have just that are really neat?
I was so dumb. I should have kept my Barbarella costumes.
Oh, man.
You didn't keep anything?
Nothing.
How you've not kept any of that stuff?
Nothing. When that movie was over, when you do those kind of movies and you've got the dry ice and the fumes and the dolls pecking at you and the birds pooping on your nose and you just want to leave it behind. But I wish I had them, man. Those were some camp items.
Is your son acting?
Yeah, he was just in a play in New York with Redford's daughter, Bob Redford's daughter. He was very good.
What was the play?
It was a play called The Messenger. He was the messenger.
Excellent.
What's his name again?
Troy Garrity.
Troy Garrity, all right.
More of this interview you don't want to miss is back in minutes on the best of the morning X 99X.
Actor Michael Rosenbaum, he knows some of the most talented people in the business.
And we try to bring you candid, open interviews, not just actor stuff. Julie Bowen is fantastic.
You know when you leave a job and you know you haven't done your very best job? I hate that feeling.
And if you're here for the wonderful Sarah Silverman, you came to the right place.
Comedy dies in the second guessing of your audience. You just have to keep writing what you think is funny right now.
The Inside of You podcast.
If you really love the podcast,
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
follow us. It's free.